The Fantasy Elite, my music story. So me, Ant, and Lo decided to form a group called the Fantasy Elite. And since there was three of us, we spelled it fantasy with the number 3, Lite. Number 3 being an backwards E, Fantasy Elite. And we started recording our music in Ant's home studio. We did sacrifice quality at the beginning so we could save money and plus time. As we formed a group, we hung out anyway, but once we formed a group, we hung out a lot. I mean, a whole lot, almost all the time. And we made our money different ways. We donated plasma. We did odd jobs, different things like that, and got temporary jobs at times, but to invest in items that we needed for the studio and for the music. And had a laptop and started out with a computer mic, just a little small computer mic, and then it advanced to a microphone that you would like, a karaoke style microphone, and we used the program Audacity. And we started writing on our album after we started doing shows at Ant's house. First song that we wrote as the Fantasy Elite, as a group, it was called Vociferous, and it wound up being the second song on the album, but the first one that we wrote as a group. And from there we created a Reverb Nation page. We already had our own Reverb Nation pages as solo artists, but once we formed a group, we created a group page. And then we started working on our album and writing towards that. We would all take turns with coming up with the choruses and topics to songs. Sometimes it would be all together. Sometimes it would be one of us would pick a topic, and we would find a beat that we would like, and we would roll with that. But we would all chip in and come up with songs. Although I had been writing for years, I scrapped a lot of my lyrics and pretty much started writing just all fresh. So I was behind when it come to coming up with some songs where they could match up some of their lyrics to where I had to write all fresh from start. So for some songs, I would just tell them to go ahead and write that, and I would while I would write to something else. And there was 2 features on the whole album that wasn't in the group, and that was my cousin Jay and our homeboy Kobe Chrome on a song called Yeah Man, and then Watch Me was this other song that was a feature that I wasn't in either song. We also, all 3 had one solo song apiece on the album, and we had a song where we did a couple songs with just 2 out of the 3 in the group. Like Lo and Ant did a couple songs together. Me and Ant did a few songs together, and then the rest, all 3 of us did together as a group. There's 16 songs total. Our boy Kobe Chrome was teaching Ant some things about how to use Audacity a little bit better, and so even though we had just like a karaoke mic and Audacity program, the tips that Kobe gave Ant, and Ant just experience trial and error, and just kind of playing around with the program, he started learning more and more about how to engineer it better. And so the sound quality was decent. It was decent. It wasn't great, but it was decent. But the the album itself, though, the lyrics, we kept it clean. We chose to show that we could use our skill, lyricism, and skill, and hip hop. Just and the art of music without having to uh, without being simplistic, and we showed a different approach uh, to our style of as a group. And so we call ourselves elite for a reason. We all three of in our own had our had ability, and it could hold our own weight. And so coming together when we formed a group, it was a super group. So we we recorded our songs, and we wound up when we finished the album finally. We got people's addresses, and we mailed everybody who wanted a copy of the album. We signed the album, and we mailed everybody a copy, and we gave people copies, and we sold some copies too. But yeah, we wound up doing shows at Ant's house on his back porch and in his backyard and out in Bowling Green. So we're out in the cut a little bit. So yeah, we were able to have good turnouts there too. Sometimes like 100 people showed up throughout the night, and we would be getting turned up. We had sound equipment. We had DJs come out. Homeboy DJ Codeine come out and with DJ. Homeboy Kobe Chrome come out. We had other artists that would come and perform at the shows at our shows with us. But and we got to invited to a show by a homeboy named Beezy, and he goes by Black Label Richardson. He grew up in Bowling Green, and anyway, he was living out in Chester at the time, and he had a show out there. We got to go out and perform at. But other than that, we did the rest of the shows at Ant's house, and we had the best turnouts whenever we did do the shows at Ant's. And some of the shows got wild. But whenever we wound up finishing the album, we wrote the outro. The outro was called "We Taking Over," and we wound up deciding to audition for America's Got Talent, and we got tickets and went down to Atlanta, Georgia, to audition. We had a big following because us three had our own individual fans and friends, and then we also, since we all three hung out and we all from the same area, we knew had a lot of mutual friends and mutual fans too. So like word got out, that we were auditioning for America's Got Talent, and well, we had been doing shows, and people had been taking pictures, videos, and we'd been making memes on Facebook, and we were just we were starting to build up a name for ourselves, and even had groupies that we knew. I mean, it was crazy, man. It was a little bit of a taste of pre-fame, I guess, without even trying to have it like that. But we released our album and did a show that night and auditioned the next day. Now, originally, we were gonna roll with the idea of paint our faces and all that, and doing like some skits and performing our song for the intro to our album, which I had that verse memorized down pat well, and but then towards the end, we wound up making a audition video, and decided to they decided to go with the outro, and I was more comfortable going with the intro and the idea that we had for it. I thought it would be more creative. Although the outro, we killed it. We killed the intro and the outro, but the outro, I still was trying to get my lyrics memorized and down pat because it was the very last song of the album and the newest song that I had just lyrics that I had just wrote to. So I was still trying to memorize that.
What's up, world? We're making this video to give you the audition song that we did for America's Got Talent. I'm Lorada.
And this your boy Ant Johnson.
Mike Vick.
And this is Fantasy Elite taking over. I'm killing the beat when I get on the beat. I fell on my back, but I'm still on my feet. I'm ripping these tracks and I tear them a piece. I'm spitting them facts when I give them a speech. You say that I'm whack, what the hell do you mean? I'm getting this money by selling my dreams. Ain't taking it from me, quit telling on me. The weather is sunny and dwelling on me. The shining, I'm rhyming and finding my diamonds. And grinding and writing the climaxes I have. And I've had all I can take. All I can say is if you lost, better find your way. Who am I to say? But I say it anyways. I've got plenty to say. Just give me the bass and I'll take it away. The place is relating to what I am saying.
I'll step into the ring with the heart of a warrior, repping with my team in the bars of destroying you. Accept us as kings, gonna make a memorial. Wreck the scene, put you in a state of euphoria. Now you're dealing with some lyrical heavyweights. Come ripping this, since we're here to just devastate. Guerrilla warfare like it was on Planet Apes. Cannot wait till the day that we're there with greats. Hip-hop Hall of Fame, that will be awesome. So we can pave a way for rappers to walk. Some of mouths that are nothing but talking. Shut them up like spades and we're running to Boston. Are you gonna doubt we are thinking of the same thing? Wanna take us out if we're banking and we make green? Gonna come around when you see the way we change things. From the underground, now we're taking up a mainstream.
I'm a magician, David Blaine. I do tricks with the verbs. A politician every way. I'm so slick with the words. My ambitions to crush the game. I'ma spit at the worst. No prisoners. I take no names. You just get hit where it hurts. The evolution of the game. You ain't fit to survive. Cause the music that you make is really fake in disguise. Causing confusion in the brains of the kids with your lies. I'm abusing all you lames and your fictional lives. Every rapper is a killer. Can they prove it with rhymes? If they're clapping for a living, they'd be doing some time. They just acting like gorillas. Ain't no truth in their rhymes. Or they be trapped up in the system cause they ruin their lives. You're nothing. Green army men fronting. You fake soldiers. A team full of Barbie men stunting the wait's over. Fantasy Elite, we're plotting to take over. Lyrically, we're unique, so drop it, the game's over.
Yes, sir. Fantasy Elite right there. Ant Johnson.
Mike Vick. Lorada. Thanks for watching.
Much love to the fans.
And that's what we wound up auditioning with that. But when we got there, I was expecting to go into the room and go into a stage, and it'd be Simon Cowell, Randy Jackson, and and all them that and Paul Abdul. I mean, I expected it to be like that, and Nick Cannon be there, but nah, it wasn't nothing like that for the audition. I mean, we got there, we went audition on Peachtree Street, and we're in this building, and then we did a walkthrough, and we had to fill out some papers and stuff, and they wanted us to like give the most emotional story that we could give and different things, and it was a lot of it. They wanted to be kind of staged. It seemed like it's, and then by the time we get to the audition, we walk into a room instead of a stage. It's a little bitty classroom, the size of a classroom. It was empty, size of a table, and one judge sitting there, and it was just this woman sitting there, and she was like, all right, let us, let me hear what y'all got. We didn't have no beat or nothing. We just went a cappella, straight spitting at her. So I had all those things running through my mind, plus trying to still, have my verse down pat. We had been practicing and rehearsing it beforehand and everything, but when we walked in that room, all that threw me off. And I was thinking, I was wondering if she really understood hip hop like that, and I was thinking like how the idea that if we would have went with the intro idea and would have did like the clown performance with the face paint and did some skits and different things, like we made it more interesting and had a beat with it, it would have livened it up, and it would have been more creative, I thought. But I had all those things in my mind, but I knew it was time to deliver. So when it got to my part, I started spitting, and then halfway through, as I was thinking of all those things, and started thinking about it and watching the reaction she had while she's just staring at us, and and then I stumbled over my lyrics, and then I was like, oh man, and I just stopped rapping. I put my head down like, oh man, I thought I blew it, and and I was But you know what? I rallied myself together, gathered myself, and I wound up finishing out strong. And I finished word for word. And then Lo came in and finished out, and that was the end of our performance. And she was like, "Well, thank y'all." She's like, "You'll be hearing from us, or we'll get back with y'all. For details if y'all are gonna make it to be on the actual show." And so that was the end of the performance, and you know that was it. After it was over, as we were walking out, the fellas that was giving me hell a little bit, like, damn, bro, you might have fucked it up for us, you might have messed it up for us all. And you know but they did give me the credit, for the fact that I did, I came back in and I finished out strong. But I stumbled over mine. But and so they kind of, on the way home and all that, for a while they kept saying, like, I might have messed it up. And then, but I was explaining to them how, what was all running through my mind and all that. And I thought that the intro album, I mean the intro idea, and in doing the idea we originally had come up with, I thought would have been a lot better, more creative, and instead of just standing there just straight rapping, with no music or nothing. And no, and so, like, and it only being that one judge, we don't even really know, like, how she really knew her background of hip hop. But there was other issues that presented itself after that, as we were in wait to see if they were gonna call us back or what. There was issues happening that was amongst the group, with Aunt and Lo, and Aunt's baby mama, and so it got a little ugly. Lo kept on hanging out with Aunt's baby mama, and behind Aunt's back, and I told Lo that ain't cool. Just as friends, as us all being friends, that wasn't cool. And so Aunt asked Lo one day if he had been hanging out with her and stuff, and Lo looked him in the face and said no. And I was there to see that and hear, and it was just us three, and Lo put it on his kids and everything, put it on a grave, all kind of stuff, like. And I was just thinking, oh no, but I didn't say nothing then. But whenever it was just me and Lo, I had a one-on-one talk with him. I'm like, bro, you got to tell him. I was like, and if you ain't, I was like, then you got to quit hanging out with her, bro. I was like, you got to quit. I was like, that ain't cool. You know, as boys, it wasn't cool, and the fact we were a group and we just got through auditioning and we possibly could have got a call back. You never know how this could have went. And Lo said that he wouldn't be hanging out with her no more. Lo said that he would tell him, whenever he felt like he was ready to tell him, he would admit it to him, but as time went on, he wasn't. And although it was on him to tell him, and it's on time, and he told me, though, just one-on-one, that he wouldn't be hanging out with her no more, and he kept hanging out with her. And so I told Lo that I was gonna tell Aunt, and Lo was like, nah, you should I should let him tell him on his own, but he didn't seem like he was going to, so he kept hanging with her. So I told Aunt, and Lo and Aunt got in a fight. The group split, and we never did wind up getting a call back from America's Got Talent. But we had already started working on new projects. I had done bought a brand new microphone and quality sound. Lo got mad at me for telling him, and Lo, like I said, they got in a fist fight, and then, like I said, afterwards, for a while they weren't cool. But they wound up talking again later. Me and Lo, we wound up moving past our differences, and but as far as the music, we all solo artists again. We still got our albums, and we got music on Reverb Nation still, stuff on YouTube, so you can just think what could have been, and that's how it ended. And there's other details of the story, but I mean, y'all would have to just hear it from their points of view too, and I just summed it up in a whole. Check out my next video, Mike Vick to Vic the Verse.